Welcome to the first ever fucking... Right, turn that shit off.
Phone's on silent.
Welcome to the first ever From Refuge podcast. I am Matt Poskett and I play bass in the band. Let's go round and show who's here today.
Counterclockwise? Yeah.
Okay,
I'll start. My name's Jonathan and I play guitar.
Hi, my name is Akash and I play drums.
Hi, I'm Suran and I do vocals.
I'm Joel and I sing and play guitar.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I just thought it would be kind of interesting to go and have a look back at what brought us to this point in our lives where we've joined From Refuge and we're seeing a moderate amount of success. So yeah, Joel, as the main man and founder of the band, perhaps you could start.
Okay, so where to begin the journey of 5 awesome individuals?
Thanks.
Except for that guy.
Oh.
So basically, I've been in lots of bands throughout my life. I went through a period of not being in a band and it sucked, so I started a band. And that band was called From Refuge. So we started off in 2016. I wrote a bunch of songs and it's just a case of finding people that would want to play these songs with me. And yeah, so we started off with sort of a lineup of 4 people, kept sort of interchanging. So at this point, no one else here was in the band. And yeah, so I think the first person that joined here was Saran, and he went through a rigorous sort of process of elimination.
I cycled in the heavy rain to my audition and sang while dripping.
So metal. So sexy.
So yeah, and I can't actually remember the order that we hired everyone else. I think Matt was next.
Yeah, it was me and then it was John. Sorry, no, it was Akash and then it was John. But yeah, I mean, tell us about when did you first get into music?
I can't remember not being in music.
Really?
So,
I mean, you are quite old now.
Thanks. Not the oldest one here, so that's good.
Well, no need to get into that.
So yeah, I can't remember not a time where I've not been into music. I mean, from listening to Michael Jackson when I was super young to my dad worked in radio, so I got lots of free CDs and stuff. So I listened to stuff that normal people probably wouldn't because he had literally everything. So and then I grew up a little bit, decided to try and play flute. That went terribly.
I can see you playing flute.
I do look like a flautist.
Remember that Christmas video we did where you dressed up as an elf? I could imagine you playing flute in that outfit.
I think technically they have piccolos, but you know.
Oh, my bad.
I guess I've always been messing around with keyboards and things like that as kids do. I did try and do piano lessons, but failed at that as well because I'm generally not good at practicing things.
Oh, come on. I wouldn't say you failed. I mean, given the amount of synths that are in our songs.
I failed the actual lessons, so I didn't want to play classical music or some grasshopper song. And that's the same with guitar. So once I got heavily into guitar when I was 16, around that area of my life, I had guitar lessons and all the guy wanted me to do was play jazz music and Jimi Hendrix, and I did not want to do that because Funeral for a Friend was my life. So, what
was the first album you ever bought?
Oh man, I'm getting all the questions. Can we defer this to someone else?
Oh, we'll move on to someone else in a minute.
Okay, fuck. So, like I said, because my dad got lots of CDs for free, the first album that I bought with my own money was Spice Girls' Spice World.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I still listen to that today. So
yeah, I collected. They released like photos that you could buy in the off license and things like that. It's like Pokemon cards, but you got pictures of Spice Girls, and I was obsessed.
So as an anecdote and alongside to that story, I remember when I was young, my sister was really into Spice Girls, and she got these like collectible photo books, I guess, with like little rundowns of each Spice Girl, and
I think that's the same thing.
Do you think it's the same thing?
Yeah.
I remember
there was one really hot picture of Baby Spice.
Well, funnily enough, I happened to borrow my sister's.
Borrow.
All right, I was quite young at this point. I wasn't quite there yet, But I happened to borrow this book, and I was writing in the back of it, "She looks really sexy in this dress." And obviously everyone in my family found that and like read it.
Maybe we can dig out photos of that for the show notes.
What?
I want to see what you wrote.
My writings
Yep.
of Baby Spice.
I'm going to send it to Baby Spice.
Far From Refuge podcast, sponsored by Spice Girls. Okay, cool. Now that we've got an embarrassing story of my childhood out of the way, perhaps I can go next then?
Go for it.
Yeah, Matt.
Cool. So I'm going to do like a massive deep dive into my history of music. So the first time I ever really realised that I liked music, I think the first song I listened to was "Where Is the Love" by Black Eyed Peas.
How old were you?
I can't remember.
That's
Still in primary
recent.
school?
Yeah, that's quite a recent song.
Or maybe I'm old. I don't know.
Yeah, you are.
This is not recent.
I don't know. Was that like 2000? 98?
Yeah,
I don't know.
it was after the 90s.
I feel.
I want to say like 2007.
Oh wow. Okay.
It was literally like
Because
13 years
actually,
ago.
maybe it was like Gorillaz. Like
Clint Eastwood.
no, the other one, like got the cool, got
20,
the cool shoe
20
shine.
something.
Yeah, something like that.
19,
Maybe it was
2000. I think.
I don't know. I heard
Yeah,
that
that's a
on
good
a
song.
cassette player. So
Nice.
That was quite a while ago. First album I ever bought. I suppose it's not really an album, but first CD I ever bought was The Crazy Frog.
What is that?
You don't know The
you
Crazy Frog?
No.
Matt, do it.
So there used to be this TV advert, you know, the ones where you could like put in a phone number and download wallpapers and whatever. And one of them was The Crazy Frog. And basically he was a frog in a cartoon frog in a motorcycle helmet. And he would go, ring, ding, 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 ding,
I've
ding.
seen that with his little pee-pee hanging out.
Yeah, exactly. But they
door
turned
either.
that into a musical sensation, mixing it with the Axel F song from, is it Beverly Hills Cop or something? I can't.
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't really remember.
That's what we need to do. We need to just get one annoying sort of a cappella soundbite, maybe from this podcast, and put it to some cheesy track.
like
Good work.
Axel F.
And then, yeah.
Isn't that all of our songs, though?
I wouldn't describe our songs as cheesy.
Or even a cappella.
So the first instrument I ever played, or ever wanted to play, was the saxophone. However, I couldn't play the saxophone when I was in primary school because my hands were too small.
Shit.
So it was suggested that I learn to play the clarinet, which I did. I learned the shit out of the clarinet. And then when I got into secondary school, my hands were bigger and stronger enough to play the saxophone, and I enjoyed it. But like you, Joel, I played a lot of jazz. It took me ages to get into the jazz band.
I mean, saxophone is pretty much a jazz instrument and blues instrument. But you're not going to do thrash metal.
There's a
with saxophone.
resurgence now in gent music.
Yeah, but it's
with
still
saxophones.
jazzy. I mean, if you're going to play saxophone, you're going to have to play jazz.
Shut up. Obviously, I learned Baker Street, but
I refer you to Dire Straits.
What about Careless Whisper?
no, I didn't actually.
Is there like any point in learning then?
Learning the saxophone.
If you didn't play Careless Whisper, like what? Why?
I wasn't old enough to appreciate the meme that it is now.
What about, you know, there's that saxophone meme with that saxophone song. I
Yeah.
forget.
Yeah.
That's the Eurovision, isn't it?
Epic
Is
sax
it?
guy.
Can you, if we got you a saxophone right now, could you do Epic Sax Guy?
If you got me a saxophone now, I wouldn't know which way to hold it.
Okay.
Like I went home and saw my saxophone, and it's rusted to shit now. So
Oh no.
Did you try and blow it?
Yes.
So for people listening who didn't see that, when Joel said blow it, he raised his eyebrows in a suggestive way. No, I didn't.
Maybe the rust adds to the character.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the same reason you don't change your bass strings for 3 months.
Rust core.
Yes, it also adds to the tetanus.
Anyway, so I started playing guitar when I was 15. I'd kind of given up with the saxophone and clarinet to the point of stopping going to lessons. When you're a kid, you don't really appreciate it as much then. And in my head, I was listening to bands like Crush 40, who are famously the Sonic the Hedgehog game musicians.
There's more than one.
I mean, yeah, now.
Okay.
But Crush 40 was the main one. They did a lot of hard rock songs.
Right. I thought it was just chiptune.
Oh, the older ones, yeah, sure, but sort of GameCube, PS2 era.
Okay, see, I forget that you're young.
I forget.
I played Sonic on the Master System too, so...
I mean, same.
Now I don't know how old you are.
I'm old enough to have wisdom on Sonic music.
Cool.
27 for the audience.
Maybe we'll do a separate podcast on the history of Sonic music.
Yeah, I'll be well up for that. I've got a lot of info in my mind. Yeah, so I started playing guitar because I really wanted to be a famous rock star, obviously.
What are you doing here then?
Here you are.
I'm still on the journey. I never stopped.
I think we can be a little bit less self-deprecating on this podcast.
I wouldn't know where to begin.
I couldn't figure it out.
No, you would know where to begin. Don't do yourself down, Seren.
Thanks, Dad.
So, yeah, so I started learning the guitar around about 15, and I played that for, I don't know, maybe 2 years. Could be less than that before I joined my first band. And it was basically just a get-together with friends. So I had a couple of friends, one who played bass and another who played violin and supposedly keyboard. I thought, it'd be cool to get a little instrumental band together. So we started a band, and the first song we ever played was a Naruto song.
Yes!
Fighting Spirit or something like that. I can't remember what it was called. But yeah, there was me on guitar, my friend on bass, and my friend playing the violin.
Can I be on that band, please?
You cannot. We've all spread to the different corners of the UK now.
But if anyone is starting a Naruto band, please contact us at farfromrefuge.com and please take this guy off our hands.
Okay.
He will wear Naruto shirts to every show.
Absolute weebs.
And run with our hands behind our back to every show.
Yeah, so that was pretty much during the teenage years of my life, and I think I was kind of out of place in that band since the other two wanted to put off the Black Veil Brides sort of look, the very gothic look, and there was me in like jeans and a t-shirt, and I mean, not much has changed there.
I was going to say, did the image not match because you didn't have hair?
Oh,
Emo.
I had hair in those days.
Hard to believe, I know, listeners.
Like,
but
if I show you the photo, you can see how much hair I have.
Cool.
It was ridiculous, and
hairy man.
oh my word. Yeah, so I played in that band, and I did a lot of the writing for it, and I think that's pretty much where my creativity skills stemmed from. But once I went to uni, it was just me again. So I basically learned how to connect my guitar pedal to my computer.
Dine in.
Yeah. And connected my guitar pedal to my computer and managed to record my first song with Superior Drummer. And I put vocals over it. But since I was into metal, I wanted to do like hardcore vocals, but I couldn't. So I would whisper into the microphone and add distortion to it, and it sounded awful. But I was super proud.
I still do that on demos, so...
You do.
You do.
And it's fine, because it's a demo.
Yeah.
If you
But it's
release
mainly
it...
because I can't scream because my child is asleep next door, and I don't want him to wake up.
That's fair.
But like when he's old enough?
Yeah. Then he'll scream.
Sorry, Saran.
That's cool.
Multi-generational thing band. Sort of cycle through.
So anyway, that lasted until I reached my working days. I would now and again create songs just as a hobby. Never really considered joining a band until my workmates decided to just play together again for fun. I ended up playing bass in that band and doing the vocals.
Is that because no one else wanted to play bass?
It's because no one else had a bass.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did vocals. We were basically a cover band. We were called Ninja Beach. I came up with the name.
Sounds like a type of Xbox headset.
I was going to say, I mean, it's Turtle Beach.
Yeah.
So your
The
whole
X.
musical career was built on Naruto, and yet you call me a weeb.
Yes. However,
Okay, I'm okay with that.
that was like 10 years ago, man. You
Back
got to
when
stop
he was
living in the
3.
past.
I discovered anime later than most people.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so anyway, that band broke up because one of my colleagues, the drummer, moved away. And at that point, I thought I really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed playing with other people. And I sought out another band. I looked on...
Join my band.
Join my band. And found the only metalcore prog metal listing, which was for a band called From Refuge. And it went from there.
And that's when my
Indeed.
life started going downhill.
Join my band crew.
Cool. Yeah, I think did I get everyone from joining my band, or I think Saran was from Facebook.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Let's
Don't know where we got
talk to you,
Akash.
Saran.
Yeah, join my
Join
band.
my band. Okay.
Cambridge Musicians Circle or something.
Probably the only two metalheads on that forum. Cool. Thank you, Matt.
Welcome. Saran, let's continue with you.
Okay, so while you guys were talking, I was trying to think back, and because I haven't thought back into my past, where and when did I get into music? So
Too many bad memories.
true. So yeah, mandatory sob story here. So I'm being from a Sri Lankan family back in Sri Lanka. Well, my
Sri Lankan
parents
family
didn't.
back in
You don't
America.
It can
Well,
happen.
they are. Well, let's just say my parents didn't believe in making your kids learn an instrument or do anything besides studying when they are young. I did start a musical in the arts
Degree.
as the art subject. I went into music first, but then I got bored of it, and then I went into drawing. So in
Because that's
hindsight, well, I was good at that too, so maybe I should have stayed in music. But listening wise, I remember listening to like pop songs when I was young, Hindi music, and then I discovered alternative music, like Three Doors Down and Puddle of Mud, that sort of thing on radio, and I got really addicted to that channel. I always used to have this little battery-powered FM radio, and I had it in school, and whenever there wasn't a lesson, I was listening to it.
Did you have long hair back then to cover up the fact you were listening?
No, the school had stupid rules. You couldn't grow your hair.
Saran didn't have long hair in Far From Refuge when he joined. I found some old videos.
I've seen the
I started discovering heavier stuff from MTV, I think, back when they played music. Stained, Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, and Korn. So, like you listen to a Korn album back then, it's not even music. It's like, whoa, what is this? Like weird noises. There's no melody. What is happening? But, and then
That's just corn.
I know. So that's how I discovered metal. I didn't know what is this? It's hard to follow. Then I got a Slipknot album, Iowa. And, just, I think that was like the first proper heavy thing, or maybe a Spine Shank album. And yeah, I couldn't go back after that. It was just spoke to me, all the teen angst and the anger at everything, because everything sucks.
Are you still feeling the teen angst?
Sure.
Now it's just angst.
You're like double that age now.
Okay, so as for singing, so I remember listening to Slipknot or Stained, especially that song For You. I was just belt out the lyrics probably very badly, but in my head I sounded good. In the middle of my friends' living rooms and their parents looking at me like, what's up with this kid? But I don't know, I knew it was what I wanted to do. I think I got a guitar when I was doing my degree, but I was too lazy to play it, and it was hard. So just, why are these frets so hard? It hurts my fingers, so fuck that. So after my degree, I went back to Sri Lanka, and I joined this really underground black metal band after an audition. So I auditioned with a song by a band I'd never heard of, some Norwegian black metal. But I remember at the audition, I went really screamy and dark, and they're nodding to each other. Hey, so that band wasn't going anywhere because in Sri Lanka there's no.
What is with this story?
It's how it is. In Sri Lanka, there's no place for metal really. There's
Unlike Cambridge.
But yeah, you wouldn't believe. So back there, I was in several bands. The funny thing is, I was in most of these bands, I was the only person who was employed. So I ended up financing the bands, paying for rehearsal, buying people instruments. I learned my lessons the hard way.
You should do that. No?
Yeah, I'm not going to do that
I
anymore.
can do it with a new guitar.
Yeah, where's my new bass around?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Close, man.
Yeah, I bought drummers, or people who thought they were drummers, double pedals twice.
I need the new DW.
Sure.
Just £1,000.
And technically, you probably have more money now.
Yeah, just think
Okay.
about it.
Yeah.
In the words of Matthew Poskett, where is the love?
Oh, good callback. The last thing you bought me was biscuits, and I couldn't even eat them.
It was the good shit though. So, thinking back, like that kid yelling in someone's living room would never think he'd be in England in an actual band playing actual gigs in London and whatnot with published music that other people listen to. So it's still quite amazing to me. So yeah, I'm really glad that I came here. Was it 5 years ago? And I found Joel, and then we found everyone else. So yeah, long story short, that's where we are.
I think someone just farted.
Wasn't me.
Was it Akash?
Whoever did they put it right near the...
From your side.
It sounded like it came from outside.
Oh, it's probably my creaky floorboards.
Just see your face.
Sorry. This is a very serious story.
I think I got too serious, so let's stop it there.
Can we move on? Should we move on to the next person?
Sorry, you said this was a sob story. Well, which point was it a sob story?
Well, no, the sob story was particularly because as a
You were
child,
born in Sri Lanka.
true, that itself is one. But yeah, I mean, here we see children get those opportunities. They get pushed into do piano lessons. Hey, learn an instrument, go do after school stuff. So
Some.
yeah, some.
The trouble with people here, or the school system here, is that you get made to choose between subjects that make no sense to be together. So I had to choose between doing music and IT. I need both of those.
Yeah.
Why make me choose between two important subjects?
Sure, now you do both.
Well, now I work in IT and I do music as a hobby, but that could have been the other way around.
Yeah.
This sounds like a topic for another podcast.
Yes, sorry, Matthew.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's a
The
good idea.
shortcomings of international school systems.
Sounds like way too serious a topic for our band, but we could try it.
Yeah, probably. All we talk is, all the words we say are chonker.
That's the first time it's been mentioned so far.
Yeah, I'm surprised. And talk about Pokemon Go.
Okay, there's a specific subset of the band that actually talks about this. Okay, I don't feel right being included in this. In the nicest way, guys. I don't do that.
Completely understand.
And if you do want to add me as a friend on Pokemon Go, 325777895939. Thank you.
Terms and conditions apply. Okay, shall we carry on? So, which of you two would like to go next? Jonathan and Akosh? Alright, I'm just going to pick someone then. Akosh. you.
Alright. I have anxiety now. Okay, let's just start. So, I started to play drums when I was a little kid. I just went home from the school. I just looked at my parents and I was like, I want to play drums. And they was in shock, like, what? No, you can't. It's just too loud and,
Yeah,
but
obviously. That's the
Yeah,
first
I
thing
know,
you think
I
of.
know, right? So, that was a class after school. So, I signed up and the music teacher said to my parents after to
Okay, for our listeners on the podcast, Joel's laptop died and we have to start again. So if it sounds a bit off, then that's the reason why. So anyway, I think we got to the point where we're talking about Akosh's first ever bands that he listened to.
our first ever band. Alright. Then there was some shitty pop bands back in Hungary, I think.
Spleak,
remember.
the Hungarian rapper.
Yeah, something. So, yeah, it was a rap artist.
Yeah?
So, yeah. But after when I found out I really like drums, so I want to challenge myself, So I want to play songs, but they are heavy to play or hard to play.
Yeah.
So then I found Slipknot and Black Veil Brides and then King Alexandria.
Cool. And they're more challenging.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you can play a 4/4 beat or play, I don't know, Dead Memories from Slipknot. It's really different. But yeah. So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, sweet. I suppose you're not just like kick on beat 2 and then snare on beat 4 or whatever.
Yeah, it's more challenging, but that's what you look for when you try to be better.
Grow yourself as a musician.
Especially when you're young and you've got to show off.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you have to.
You have to.
You have
There's
to.
no point in not.
You need to, yeah. Alright. I think that's it.
So let's talk about when you auditioned for the band.
Yeah. Again.
What a
Twice
nice,
today.
authentic conversation.
Yeah.
A good segue into a previous topic.
So, alright. So I'm going to say it again. So I found this advertising on Join My Band again. And I went to audition. And Joe said to me that he will send me a text message in a few hours. So I went home. And then me and my family was waiting for the text message for like 6 and 7 hours till I get there. Hey, I'm Joel. Tuesday, you want to join the From Refuge? I was like, of course I want to. So yeah, it was a good moment though.
But you got it at 1 a.m.
Yeah, I was tired and
And he
sleepy.
did not sleep one wink that night.
Yeah, that's true. But I was happy though. So, and anyway, it's a good story.
Yeah, so we had a couple of people who were auditioning the same day as you, but we picked you mainly because of your passion for the drums, emotional approach to playing them rather than the more mechanical approach of
Yeah.
others.
Yeah,
Also
Sounds like
because
you're-
he promised us Guyash in the future.
yeah. I'm still on it. It's 3 years now.
Still no Guyash, but we're waiting.
Yeah, for
Can
me.
we just cover the fact, the experience that you had with Akosh's family at our first ever show?
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, our first show was at the B2 in Norwich. We did not play very well, but Akosh brought his entire family along, which I think is like half the population of Hungary.
Hey, can't say that.
But it was so nice. They were the most supportive people, and to be fair, I think even now.
Well, don't forget the time my dad came to our gig and fell asleep.
And when your wife came to the gig and fell asleep.
Yes.
There's a running trend here.
Whilst we were getting our victory award.
And then asked us who won.
Supportive.
I love you, babe.
So let's give some
That-
context to that story. So that was from when we played at Berry Sound for the third heat or something. And so, yeah, we ended up winning. That was cool.
Yeah, we were really surprised. We were the only heavy band. Well, maybe not heavy, but we're the only band of
Calling
our
me
genre
fat.
I mean, people was wearing high heels and there was kids there.
There were a lot of kids there, a
Yeah.
lot of old people. The age ranges were from 6 to 60.
Yeah.
So if this podcast goes out before March 20th, come see us at the Apex in Bury St Edmunds. That's March 20th, far from Refuge. Bury Sound Finals.
You okay there, Joel?
Yeah, sorry.
It's fucking.
Far From Refuge podcast, sponsored by the Apex, Bury St Edmunds. This joke has run its course.
I mean, no, it hasn't,
No.
because technically the listeners have only heard it once. So.
Oh, true, yeah. Whenever this podcast comes out.
All right. Thank you very much, Akosh. I think that's a
Yeah, you're right.
beautiful story.
Yeah, so that's everyone in the band.
Yeah.
4 piece.
Far From Refuge.
Yeah. Let's move on to
More important things, eh?
newest,
Serious.
Better things, eh?
the newest member of the band.
Yeah, so let's hear about your history, Jonathan.
Oh, that's my name. Yeah. So yeah, we'll go back right to the start when I was born. I was born with a pair of headphones on. It was weird.
Can you go
Instead
like,
of an umbilical cord.
Your poor mum.
can we go back like 9 months before you were born?
No,
Okay.
Come on.
it's a different type of podcast.
Yeah.
All right.
Gross.
That's Far From Refuge after hours.
So yeah, I started listening to music from a very young age because my dad just loves to listen to music. So yeah, I was like torrenting music at the ripe old age of like 4. So, well, I don't know about torrenting, but downloading it, that's for sure. Just because my dad sort of introduced me to computers when I was little. I played piano and then I promptly stopped at like 8. And I just didn't play any music till I was quite a bit older. Still listen to it, oddly enough, because radios existed. And yeah, around the age of 13, bought my first guitar. Proceeded to never play it because it was too hard. And then a few months later, got a friend who wanted us to, start a band together. And so I started playing guitar, got really into it, and I was like, oh yeah, let's do all these things. And back then I was really into like Avenged Sevenfold and 3 Days Grace, all the sort of 2008 emo kid
Yeah,
sort
the
of vibes.
classic emo kid
I looked,
bands.
about as I wasn't the worst, but I definitely went through a nice happy little emo period. It was good.
Did you dye your hair black at all?
Yeah. And blonde and red and orange. And I think at one point I was pink. Yeah, I went through like
Welcome
all the
to the
colors. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I don't miss it because I don't look particularly great blonde, funnily enough, with my features.
I don't know. It might work.
It didn't. It
Okay.
doesn't.
I mean, I'll take your word for it.
Okay, moving on from my emo phase. Yeah, so I started my first band when I was around 15 with a bunch of people who I played League of Legends with. And yeah, we did anything. We were, I guess, anywhere from a hardcore punk band to like a pop cover band. We do covers of like Gautier, and then also play, screamo.
Wow, it's
Yeah.
quite a mix.
It was, yeah. It was a diverse crew.
So I guess now it's just some band that you used to know.
Yeah.
Oh, but that was actually good. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm glad you didn't say surprised. That would be the final nail in the coffin. But yeah, and from there, then I started to go to uni. I stopped playing with those guys, and we also drifted apart. I went to university, played in a few bands, really. They were all like just temporary for fun things. We just, meet up, play covers. and then it wouldn't ever go to like live stuff. And yeah, doing university, I didn't really do much band stuff, focusing on writing and learning how to not be terrible at writing music. From there, stopped university, did about nothing for a year, just about. I started.
Sounds great.
And then I moved up to Peterborough from Crawley.
Oh, I didn't know that. Crawley's a shithole.
Yeah. Jesus.
Okay, nice.
Wait
I'm so sorry.
Right. Well, I mean, I live in Peterborough now, so
I don't think I can ever treat you the same again.
Hey, he's still alive.
I'm still alive.
Yeah, so thank God, eh?
Only slightly scarred. Yeah, I ended up in Peterborough. Started auditioned for the band before I got a job, which is always a good idea when you have no money, and especially when it's like a nice long train right away.
Yes, shout out to John's dedication for making that trip every week to practice.
With my backpack with the Helix
Yes.
in it. It was a backpack that I used to like travel across Europe, so it was not fit for purpose.
Before you bought the official.
The official
Helix
Helix
bag.
backpack, sponsored by Line 6. Please, Jesus, please, Line 6. Please.
Give us spider amps.
Variax guitars.
Actually, I wouldn't mind one.
As long as we just use like the pod beans on stage rather than helixes.
We'll get that classic.
The kidney bean one.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
have one.
can you just call them pod farms?
I thought
I've
they
never-
were called the bean.
They are called the Bean.
Really?
Podfarm was the software.
Oh, okay.
Pod farm is still actually really good. People use it in.
Yeah, that's what I used to like. That's what I started
voice.
writing on. Like, but then I upgraded to HX Effects.
Hear how passionate we are about Line 6 products.
I had the Line 6 UX1 Tone Forge or something like that, and that was a revelation. Horribly gainy tones using that.
So I'm very fluid with whatever guitar plugins I have. So I've used like Guitar Rig. I used to just use like all freeware sort of stuff for guitars. It sounded fine. Where was I? Yeah, auditioning for the band. That was weird. I think.
Thanks.
Because like it
band
was
was
like
weird.
It was a little bit
it was a bit weird. There were how many? Were there
There were
three?
3 people that we were auditioning that day.
Yeah, that was tough. 3 people in one day probably isn't ideal in like the space of what,
Playing
2 hours
Emergence
or
all day.
something?
And,
Yeah.
and
The
it
only
was-
song was like the worst song that you guys have ever written.
Which one was
Oh.
it?
It was Emergence.
Emergence.
You're like, please learn this song, and I was like, okay, but please have other songs.
People love Emergence.
Yeah, it's not
not
that
a bad song.
It's just,
Yeah, it's just not
it's just
fun.
boring after a while.
It's just
so-
really boring to play. Sorry,
Ah,
that's what I mean.
alright. So we're
I'm
officially a
offended.
And also hearing it
four-piece
in, like,
now.
Yeah, hearing it in 4 like different iterations is not great either.
Try hearing it in 50 different iterations.
Then stop remaking it.
Yeah.
No one's asking for the club remix, Joel.
People ask for the club remix.
Who?
Eurobeat.
That doesn't count.
That audition probably wasn't helped by me not having a filter. So
I don't recall anything happening.
I don't recall
Okay.
anything you said.
I think
What?
because you probably made inappropriate jokes to potentially strangers at the time.
Yeah, well, I mean, nothing has changed, so you're just portraying an accurate representation of yourself.
yeah. If anything, I appreciated it.
Oh, that's nice.
Your candor is,
Yeah, we enjoyed playing with you the most. Everyone else that we auditioned was a vastly different character.
Yeah. I
Yes.
couldn't even feel.
We enjoyed playing with you as opposed to feeling threatened by someone else.
And that is a story for another time. Okay, anything more?
Oh yeah. No.
All right, well then we'll wrap this up. So I guess we got a couple of things to mention before we finish. So Saran, perhaps you want to talk about our latest giveaway?
All right. The Far From Refuge giveaway just started today. So we are giving away a brand new Samsung Galaxy Active smartwatch in silver. So you'll find the app to get on this on our website. just go to our giveaway page. Just do the social.
Our website, by the way, is farfromrefuge.com.
As if everyone didn't know.
Never know.
All right. Just do the social media actions, get your entries in, and we'll send it out to you if you win. So
We'll put some links in the description.
Not a bad idea. And then we might do a deeper dive. I keep saying that today. On our upcoming single, but our upcoming single, it's releasing on the 20th of March. It's called Kingdom, and you can pre-save it on Spotify now. So if you just search Far From Refuge Kingdom, it should show up.
Yes.
Sure, why not?
Maybe.
not
Where?
on Spotify, not yet, I think.
Perhaps go to our website where there will be a pre-save link.
farfromrefuge.co.uk.
Pre-save it and get yourself some points for the giveaway. That's
Yes.
much more fun.
Do that. And
Yes.
also, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Edenvale for featuring on that song because they have taken it to another level. So, thank you very much, Edenvale.
Talk more about that in a follow-on podcast if it happens.
So optimistic.
Yeah, so for the time being, just, follow us, subscribe to our YouTube, follow us on Spotify, like us on Facebook, show us some love.
And save this for the next wherever this podcast is on. Where are we uploading it?
Unsure.
Okay.
And if you have any questions, feel free to write into farfromrefugeuk@gmail.com.
Yes, or use the contact form on our website.
We have one of those.
Okay, so thank you very much for listening. We have been Far From Refuge, and here's a song to play you out.
I held you right there. Oh, wait, no, that's just Club Remix 2.